together a practice where we're looking at releasing tension from our neck into our shoulders. We hold so much tension through our shoulders, through our neck, especially at the moment. I know I'm not getting my regular massage, or at least Robin doesn't do a very good job. We're also working into the core. So we're going to start by just connecting with our breath, bringing ourselves ready for the practice, coming onto your knees if that works for you today, or coming into an easy seated position. Just take a moment to engage that core. So sit nice and tall with your shoulders, your heart over your hips, and then allow your head to just gently rest on top. Just take the shoulders back and down, bring those shoulder blades slightly back towards one another, and just rest your hands on your thighs. Good. And then connect with that breath. So we breathe all the time, but just become aware of it. So allow that inhale to move deeply through the body, and think about every cell in the body getting that nice, clean, fresh air that you're taking in. So you can soften your gaze, you can close your eyes, but just place all your awareness on the breath, where it's going. Try and just tame the mind. Give yourself this time. Watch the breath flow freely through the body. And then as you exhale, see if you can just take a small pause before you exhale. In that pause, decide what no longer serves you, so what you want to release. So it could be the tension from the shoulders, it could be anxiety, and just find that freedom in the movement. So flowing in the clean, fresh air, and exhaling whatever it is to you that you no longer need, want. Good. And just be with that, softening into it, not forcing it. Good. Okay, and then allow your right hand, just gently, the fingertips might just touch the ground, and then take the neck to the left. So you'll feel a bit of a release through the neck there, lengthening. Good. And then you can take your hand and just gently place it on the top of your head and just allow gravity. So using that exhale, just lengthen the muscles in the neck. Good. See if you can just take the hand behind the head. And you can take that hand, the right hand, slightly further back. And then rolling it round, switching sides, finding softness, and then allowing gravity in your hand to just. Good. And you can take the hand back. Good. And then just take your hands, clasp them, and take them behind your head, and just allow yourself to push your spine out slightly and allow your chin to your chest. Your elbows might want to come towards each other, but just allowing gravity to just release through the neck. The tailbone should just sit under. Good. And then opening out, coming into your cactus arms, and just feeling like your shoulder blades are coming towards one another. Inhale and exhale into it. Good. Take your hands behind your back, clasping them. Good. And then open the chest. Good. And then coming forwards into your child's pose, but just take your hands above your head. If it feels right. If this doesn't feel right, obviously don't go there. And using that exhale really deeply, sighing out the tension that you no longer need. Good. Rising. Taking your hands slightly behind your feet, engaging your core, pulling belly button to spine, and you're just going to push your hips up. So engage the glutes, fire up the thighs, and just find a bit of a back bend there. Don't move too far into it, we've only just begun. Good. So you should start to feel that you're working your way into your body. Coming onto all fours. Good. You're just going to place your hand just behind your head. Okay, and you're just going to open into it. So try and keep your hips stable. And the movement is through your back and your shoulders. Good. And then just taking the elbow down to the other hand and just lifting. Moving with your breath. Good. So just getting a bit of movement through the back, through the shoulders. Good. And switching sides. Good. And last one. We don't have that much mobility through the shoulders because they hold so much tension, so it's good to just release into it. So take your hands forward to the front of your mat, keep your hips raised and melt that chest into the mat. So either rest your forehead, your chest, your chin, and just let go. Good. And then rising once more into those all fours. You're going to take your left hand out and your right hand out and your left foot. Good. And then bringing them together to meet in the middle. So you want your elbow to meet your knee, round through your spine, and then back out. So firing up the core. Good. And once more. Good. And then placing it back down. Switching sides. Good. Finding that fluidity to the movement. So it should feel like the muscles are working together with the breath to get you there. Good. And then just take a moment to take your wrists, to take your hands facing towards your knees, and you might just want to head back slightly, hips towards your heels, just to release through the forearms. And then just take your hands either side and just find yourself rocking slightly. We're doing a little bit on our wrists, so we just want to release through them slightly. Good. And then find that center again. Good. And then you're going to tuck over your toes, engage the core, belly button to the spine. Good. And then you're going to rise into your high plank. You can stay on your knees for this if you want, but push through the back, through the toes, into the knuckles, and really feel like you're pushing the mat away. And then here, I just want you to come back a little bit, so more weight onto your feet, and then forward. And back, and keeping that breath connected, release through the elbows a little bit. Shoulders away from ears, round through, roll the hips under. Nice straight line between shoulders, hips and heels. Good. And then onto the knees. And just chaturanga down. So you're coming onto your knees, chest, chin. And then we're going to round into our cobra. Good. So just stay there for a moment and then taking it through. Good. Onto your forearms. Internally rotating the legs. Switching on the glutes. Good. Inhale up and exhale down. Good. And then this time, taking the arms forwards And bringing them back into your cactus arms, but in your cobra. Push through the toes, really push. And you're going to do that once more. So inhale it all up. Good. And then if you want to, placing your hands down and pushing into your up dog. Shoulders away from ears. Open to your toes, into your downward facing dog. Good, and just find a bit of a release there. So just yes and no your head. Good. Pedal your feet, so straighten your left leg. Bend your right, straighten your right leg. And then find that spread through the shoulder blades. Really find width there. Lift your hips to the sky. Good. Okay, and then you're just going to roll your spine over into your high plank. So feel good. Fire up the core, and you're literally just going to switch from side plank to side plank. So coming onto your knees into a half side plank if you want, or just taking it over. Soften your gaze to the ground. Finding strength through the core, lift your hips. Good, and exhale back to centre and switching sides. Lift your hips. Good. And once more each side. Lift your hips. Pushing the ground away, really pushing that mat. And exhale. And inhale. Feel the strength in your body. Send that breath where you need the strength. Good, to the knees, and taking it down in to your up dog, your baby cobra, whatever feels right for you. Good. Tucking over your toes into your downward facing dog. Good, and again, release into it. Take the hips one side and then the other perhaps. Good. Lifting the left leg. Bending through it and then finding that release through the hip. Good, so keeping the weight even through both hands. And then you're going to bring your knee to your chest, slowly through this, keep control, and then placing it in between your hands. Allow your chest forwards. Take a nice big inhale in to the belly, into the chest. Good, and stepping the other foot in. Heel toeing them towards hip width. Good. And then you're just going to ragdoll for a moment. So taking your elbows and allowing the neck to lengthen. Good. Good. And then on the inhale, rising tall. Good. Taking the hands behind your chest, behind your back. Inhaling into this space in the front body and finding that fluidity in the movement, so rolling over into your forward fold again, bending into the knees, tummy to the thighs, and sighing it all out, sighing that tension, sighing that stress. Good. Onto your fingertips, and this time you're going to rise into your chair. So sit yourself down. Weight into the heels, tuck under the tailbone, switch on the tummy, draw the shoulders back and down. Good. And then inhale, and you're going to take, you're still in the chair, but you're going to take your hands back behind you, pulling the shoulder blades back towards one another. Good. Inhale it up, sit a little deeper. Good. And then drawing it back. Good. Hands to the mat. You're going to take it back into a plank, so either stepping or jumping yourself back. Push through the knuckles. Good. Taking a little bit of weight in the front in the hands and then back. Good. Good. And then knees to the floor. Coming onto the mat, Good. Rolling your shoulders back, coming into that baby cobra, and then here we're just going to take our hands forward once more. Okay, so it's an active pose now, and you're going to do that once more. Inhale it up, shoulder blades back towards one another. Good. And once more, fire up the glutes, push the feet into the ground. Good. Taking it back into your child's pose, and I just want you to feel like you're really pulling your fingertips back towards you, but they're staying on the mat. So you can just find something there, feeling into the shoulders. And exhale deeply into the belly. Inhale rather. Good. Okay. Coming forwards, just rising a moment, tucking over your toes and just taking a moment, releasing through the shoulders, becoming aware of where they want tension to be and where you want to find the release. So your core should be fired up. And coming into your downward facing dog. Good. Good, you're going to roll your spine out into that high plank once more. Good. So that straight line, release through the shoulders, don't allow tension to creep in. The firing up should be in the belly. Good. And then push back in to your downward facing dog. Send the right leg up to the sky, open through the hip, good, and then taking that leg forward, inhaling into the front body, dropping through the hip slightly, good, stepping in, good, and then as we rise, coming back into our chair and dropping our tailbone, good, bring the hands to heart center, and twist, and you can either nestle your elbow onto your knee and open there, or just stay where you were. Good. Rising and opening, and we're going to come back into that. So hands to heart center, dropping the tailbone, tucking it under, sitting deeper, twisting. And then finding that elbow to the knee, making sure your knees remain level, and then opening. Good. Good. And then rising, placing your hands on your heart and just inhaling into the chest. Good. And you're just going to inhale and just allow that tension to release. Inhale. This time place your hands onto the ground fingertips. Good, you're going to take your right leg back. Good. And then if you'd like, just find that sense of balance. If you want, taking off both hands, finding heart center. Good. Placing that foot down and coming into your high lunge. Inhaling here, dropping through a little bit more. Good, and then rising, and then sinking slightly into the hips. Good, coming back through your warrior three, placing the foot down. Good, and then allowing yourself to sink in to your legs. And just lengthen one leg, straighten the other. Good. And take the left leg back. Trying not to open through your hips. And then you can take one hand away. And if you want, bringing both hands to heart center. Finding that balance, finding that focus. Good. Good. Taking it back, placing the foot down, coming in to your high lunge. Good. And release, release the hips. Coming down to almost a low lunge and rising. keeping that belly engaged. So we want to take that into our everyday life. The engagement of the belly, our posture. Good. And then coming back over into your warrior three. Good. Hands down, placing that foot down, stepping back into your plank, rolling your shoulders back and down, and then allowing yourself through a vinyasa. So, into your up dog or your baby cobra, protecting that lower back, switching on your glutes, and coming back in to your downward facing dog. Good. Onto your knees, and then you're just going to get yourself into a seated position. Good. You're going to just take a moment to just roll out the last of that tension. So bring your knees into your chest and just roll from side to side for a moment, and then forward and back. Good. And we've done this a couple of times before, but just finding that balance. Good. Okay. And then you're going to find your boat. So either legs 90 degrees or straight to the ground and hands out in front, or straighten out those legs, bring the belly button towards the spine and release there. And just breathe into it. Good. And if you want a bit more, bring your hands to heart center, and you're just going to slowly twist. So you're keeping those legs nice and straight, and you're just finding that flow from side to side. Good. Inhale down to the belly, send it strength. If your back starts to hurt, just come out of it. You can always just place your hands here, and that feels the fire too. Good. And then rolling up, finding your seat bones, stretching tall, and allowing that forward fold. So keep, to start with, really keep that neutral spine, and then roll yourself over. Good. And just enjoy that release. Feet underneath your knees, hands just underneath your shoulders, hip width apart. Okay, and you're just going to push up into your reverse tabletop. So it should feel a nice release through the shoulders. So you'll push your hips up, keep those hips up nice and high, and relax the neck back if it feels right. Push through the hips. Can you feel that in the shoulders? Use the exhale to let go. Good. Bottom to the ground, and we're just going to do that once more. Inhale and exhale it up. Good. Now take the right leg over the left. You're going to bring yourself onto your mat, hands to the side, and just gently allow gravity to take that right knee to the ground. So wherever it goes is absolutely fine. Try and keep your shoulders onto the ground, and you can find your gaze the other way and just sink into that. So connect with your breath once more and just find that release through the back. Good. Now you really want to engage the core as you bring your legs back up to center. Good. You're going to switch sides, and you're going to take your hips slightly over to your left, and then allow gravity to take that left knee over to where it wants to be. Good. Melt those shoulders into the mat. Just be. Good. Good. And then coming back up to seated, you're just going to, you can either stay in your seated position here, and we're just going to work through our eagle arms. So you take your right elbow over your left, cross them over, and then you can find your palms. If you don't find your palms, that's fine. Go to wherever you can. But just notice that release through the shoulders. So bring your elbows slightly away from you, and you can release your head and neck down. So chin to chest. Using that breath to deepen the stretch. Find yourself folding over if you want. Good. That's it. Open your chest. Take a nice big inhale into the whole of the front of the chest. And then switching sides, left elbow over right, find the palms, and then allowing the elbows forward slightly, the chin to the chest. Good. Good, and open that chest once more. Just turn your thumbs to the mat, and just allow the shoulder blades back towards one another, and then switching sides so your thumbs up to the top. Good, and then clasp your hands and just bring them in onto your heart. Good. And then lastly, we're just going to move in to a happy baby to just find a bit of a release through our legs. So straighten one leg perhaps, bend through the other. Try and keep the whole of your spine on the mat, and just allow this nice release. Good. Okay. And then take your legs up towards the sky. Just soften your hips into the mat. Good. And just coming up into a bit of a mini inversion, but this is a really nice relaxing one. It's good to get a bit more blood flowing through the upper body, the head. Good. And then give yourself a couple of moments. Allow your feet to just gently relax out to one side. Allow your palms to face the sky. And just soften through the body. So connect with that breath, that easy breath, where you're filling the lungs, you're filling every cell with that clean, fresh breath. Just noticing where it's going, so send that breath through the tummy, the hips, into the legs, down to the toes. And just as I name a body part, I just want you to just try and tense it and then release it. So your feet, find that tension and release. Your lower legs, find that tension and then release. Your upper legs and your bottom, release to the mat. Feel them melting away. Your tummy and release. Into your chest and your shoulders and release. Good. And then working into your head. So hopefully we've just tamed the mind a little. We've softened. We've released what's no longer serving us. Our mind is a little clearer. And you're just going to release through the forehead, the jaw. Good. And just enjoy this moment. Before you start to wriggle your fingers and toes. And then allowing yourself yourself over onto your left hand side and coming up to your easy seated pose, being aware of your posture and trying to be aware of your posture for the rest of the day. Good, drawing the shoulder blades back and down, switching on the belly, sitting up nice and tall, hands to heart centre, finding balance in the mind, strength in the body, love in the heart. Namaste. Well done everyone. If you've got any questions, please do ask. Thank you.